Hello everybody, so this video is entitled MSTR Stock $1 billion Buy, All Stretch, All STRC, Mic Drop. I put a little mic drop emoji here, boom, because it is a pretty darn big deal that he was able to buy $1 billion worth of Bitcoin with only Stretch. 1,001 million. Think about that. 1,001 million. I had said yesterday over 1 billion. Well, it was just above that mark. I expected a slightly bigger buy, actually, because I was expecting him to do the MSTR common ATM. But we had zero common ATM. I'm sad. I think he should do the common ATM still. But there's a lot of people who absolutely despise the common ATM. And, you know, I'm sure many of you don't like it, even in my viewers. But I like the common ATM. I think he's going to need to start redoing it pretty soon. But clearly what he said holds true, which is he only uses the ATM on the common into strength, into new buys of the stock. That's when he will ATM. So that means that the weakness in MSTR stock last week was actually due to folks exiting MSTR stock and selling the stock, and not to actually Saylor selling the stock. Saylor did not dilute last week, which is a big deal, if you ask me, a pretty big deal. And eventually, of course, that should be reflected in the stock price. Eventually, this is a long-term hold, a long-term play. Keynote on Stretch.live. As you know, I love Stretch.live. I recommend that people bookmark it and have the yield terminal open on another screen and just look at it. It's beautiful to see your investment working in front of your eyes. Beautiful animations. I love Stretch.live. The point is we're getting better. Stretch.live is getting better. They were under by only 51%. They had said 9,100 Bitcoin. Saylor bought 13,900 Bitcoin. So Saylor bought 1.5 times more than what Stretch.live has predicted. This is an improvement from last week, because last week Saylor had bought twice as many as Stretch.live was predicting. So the delta, the error, is reducing. My guess is that as the Stretch.live team gets better, the differences will be more and more minute as we move forward. But right now, Saylor still overperforming compared to the predictions of, say, a Stretch.live. And of course, Saylor has to report on this weekly because that's the SEC rules with 8K and all that sort of stuff. Otherwise, I'm sure he could let us know on the daily, but no, you have to wait weekly. So unfortunately, the SEC is just the way it is. Moving on, let's study the charts. I want to talk about the charts. So, strategy up slightly this morning, 0.65%. Bitcoin is down 2%. I believe that Bitcoin was hit and strategy was not hit. Strategy actually benefited from being a stock this weekend because the bad news was on Saturday night, right, in the US. That's when we got it's a fail on the negotiations, whatever. The markets were closed, but Bitcoin was not. So Bitcoin actually dropped over the weekend. And selling pressure happened on Bitcoin over the weekend because that's what they could liquidate, right? But you can't really liquidate your MSTR stock over the weekend. So I think MSTR, that's the reason why it's pretty stable, and stocks are actually pretty stable. Yeah, because Bitcoin took all of the brunt of the sell-off of people panicking because the markets were closed and Bitcoin once again was open and was hurt. So every time we have this geopolitical news that happens on the weekend, it's like artificially hurting Bitcoin and taking Bitcoin and crypto down because it's the only thing you can sell. And it's very unfortunate if you ask me. I think stocks should be 24/7. Maybe if these bad geopolitical news happened on a weekday, maybe we'd see the sell-off in stock, and maybe Bitcoin would not have to bear the entire brunt of the sell-off, if that makes any sense. Anyways, we are still underperforming Bitcoin over a 5-day period. Bitcoin is up 5%. Strategy is up only 3.3%. So we have some catching up to do. And in my view, over the long term, we will obviously catch up over the long term. I think strategy will be a weighing machine. It will be weighed by how much Bitcoin it actually has on its balance sheet. It will be weighed on the BTC yield. And the BTC yield, of course, year to date is 5.6%. Will he be able to do about 20% yield over 2026? I think so. I think that's the goal. The goal is between 15 and 20% yield, and that's what the stock should go up by, plus multiplied by also Bitcoin's performance. So it should be Bitcoin performance plus the BTC yield, and as you know on this channel, I don't really expect any multiple expansion. I'm fine with him ATMing at any MNAV that is above 1, even a penny above 1. I'm fine with him doing that. Moving on, talking about Stretch, the state of Stretch. Stretch is ATMing heavy this morning. Big start of the morning, already 3,200 Bitcoin. Think about that. That's a heavy ATM. But of course, the big test for Stretch is April 15, coming up in 2 days. That's the big stretch, because the stock will go ex-dividend. And of course, people will sell off the stock when it goes ex-dividend because they want to capture the dividend and they don't really want to own Stretch. They just want to do a scalp, a trade, whatever you want to call it. And the big question is going to be on April 15, how long will it take for Stretch to regain 100? Will it be 1 day? That'd be good. That'd be acceptable. Like if we traded at 99.5, for example, on the ex-dividend day, and at the end of the day we end up at 99.9, and then the day after we are at 100 again, that'd be beautiful if the stock could recover from the ex-dividend day in just a trading day. Could be longer than that. It's been longer than that so far, but there will be a period with a lower ATM, and that period with lower ATM is starting toward the later half of the week. But you can see the parametric nature. This is beautifully engineered product. I mean, this is unbelievable. It's not even trading at a penny anymore. It's like fractions of a penny. If you really look at it, zoom in. I mean, if you zoom in, it's unbelievable. I very much love. I mean, it's not fractions of a penny, but it looks like it. At least on the chart, I've never seen a chart so precise. $100 Santi stablecoin. He created the Santi stablecoin trading on TradFi rails. A few noteworthy items to finish up this video. There is a bankless interview of Saylor that was just released 4 hours ago. And of course, I listen to every single Saylor interview, and I will be listening to that one, hopefully today. It will be very interesting, because bankless, of course, they are big Ethereum guys. They are huge Ethereum bulls. Will they start talking to Saylor about things like smart contracts, about things like digital finance, digital rail, DeFi? Will they start talking about this? I hope they poke him on these questions. They pick his brain on his questions, because I know he used to be a staunch critic of anything but Bitcoin. But that has changed the past 6 months to a year, right? He's already said, Bitcoin could be used for signatures. He's been a proponent, of course, of DeFi tokenized preferred, right? The tokenized Stretch preferred, the stablecoin, all of the APYX, Roxum. He's been a proponent of that too. So it will be interesting to see his change on the views of crypto as a whole, and how digital capital that is Bitcoin actually fits in the whole smart contracts ecosystem. Saylor is a smart man, and I think I can't wait for his takes. Lastly, important deal, big deal, Metaplanet is on Robinhood. So I need to realize what's going on with Metaplanet, but of course, if it's on Robinhood, that's going to change a lot of things. We know that Saylor has been able to ATM a lot of Stretch thanks to Robinhood. And if Metaplanet is on Robinhood, what could that mean for flows? What could that mean for shareholders? I think that could be very interesting. So, and I'm very curious to see the maintenance ratio of a Metaplanet, right? What's going to be the maintenance ratio? How Robinhood's going to treat it? Is Robinhood going to jail Metaplanet with 100% maintenance ratio? I don't know, but it's a very big deal. So I look forward to seeing what happens with Metaplanet on Robinhood. I need to reanalyze that stock. It's been such a long time. So anyways, this was not investment advice. This is not financial advice ever on this channel. This is only entertainment. I'm hoping you were entertained. Please like, please subscribe, follow me on Patreon, follow me on X. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.